attorneys and prosecutors launched the trial of Trezell and Jacqueline West after two little boys, Orrin, 4, and Orson, 3, go missing. Their bodies never found. In the last days, breaking news. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us here at Fox Nation and Sirius XM 111. The faces of these two little boys, 4-year-old Orrin and 3-year-old Orson, go national as people all across the country join in the search for them. How did the search begin? How did the boys go missing?
The children, Orson West and Orrin West, were last seen in the 10,700 block of Aspen Avenue. They're described as African American, about 3 feet tall, both wearing black sweatshirts and gray sweatpants.
You were just hearing our friends at KGET 17 News. That was Taylor Schaub. And what Taylor Schaub said breaks my heart because I'm thinking of my children. John David and Lucy, at age 3, they're twins, at 3 feet tall. Where these two wearing black sweatshirts and gray sweatpants. Now, how does not one little child disappear, say, at the shopping mall or at the playground? How do two of them just disappear? With me, an all-star panel to break it down and put it back together again. Well, let me tell you first, a name you know very well, a hero and advocate, Mark Klass, the founder of Klass Kids Foundation, who's devoted his life to finding missing people, especially children, after the disappearance of his little girl, Polly. Kathleen Murphy, North Carolina trial lawyer at ncdomesticlaw.com. Dr. Angela Arnold, renowned psychiatrist, joining us out of the Atlanta jurisdiction at angelaarnoldmd.com. You know this name very well. Cheryl McCollum, founder and director of the Cold Case Research Institute, and crime scene expert Joseph Scott Morgan, professor of forensics, Jacksonville State University, author of Blood Beneath My Feet on Amazon. But first, we're going to a special guest joining us, Bayan Wang with 23 ABC in Bakersville. You know, Bayan, first of all, thank you for being with us. I've covered so many missing people cases, especially children, and investigated them as a felony prosecutor in inner city Atlanta. And I usually see one child missing, one person missing. It's very rare indeed, Bayan, for two children to go missing at the same time. And it brings to mind, for instance, two little children playing in the front yard and they decide to walk down the street and then they're missing. Or two children getting away from mommy at the shopping mall. I want to hear exactly what you can tell me surrounding the facts of this case, Bayan Wang, because every single fact means something, including the time of the day, daylight or dark, the type of neighborhood, residential, apartment, tree line, business district, shopping mall. Every single thing matters. So, Bayan Wang, first of all, tell me about the area. Where did they go missing?
They went missing in California City. That's a population of about 14,000. It's surrounded by hundreds of miles of desert. It's the third largest land area in California.
What do you mean the third largest land area? I mean, the whole state of California is land. What do you mean by the third largest? Listen, Bayan, I appreciate your details, but I'm just a trial lawyer. You have to break it down for people like me. What do you mean the third largest land area?
Well, Nancy, this community is in the middle of the Mojave Desert. I mean, you just go on Google Maps and you look at it, and there's hundreds of miles of desert, a lot of it unoccupied. So this small township, you know, the community, you could imagine this case weighing in on their hearts. They are desperate to find these little guys.
Hold on, Bayan Wang, because I want to go to our expert, Mark Klass, founder of Klass Kids at classkids.org. Mark, that presents a big problem. First of all, you got a very small town. Bigger than where I grew up, Mark Klass, but still 14,000 rules out to an extent, like strangers passing through. But you've got that factor, Mark Class, combined with, as Bayan Wang just told us, huge expanse of desert. Nobody living there. That presents a problem, Mark Class, to find this 3 and 4-year-old little boy.
Indeed it does, Nancy. And to preface this, I'd like to say that Class Kids Foundation has had our busiest year ever with missing child cases. So this is a crime that endures and just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Now, back to what you said, there's generally about 105 to 115 stereotypical kidnappings in the United States in a given year. And when I say stereotypical stranger kidnappings, I mean somebody coming out of absolutely nowhere and taking the children. And in the vast majority of those cases, there's only one child involved. Mm-hmm. And more often than not, it would be a girl between 6 and 12 years old.
Okay, wait. You got me drinking out of the fire hydrant. It's too much, too fast. Hold on. I'm taking in everything you're saying, which contradicts everything about this case that Bayan Wang is telling us, and he's absolutely correct. Okay, let me pick it up from where you dropped off. That much is soaked in. Go ahead.
Okay, well, so we're in a situation here where, as Bayan said, you've got a massive landmass and you've got 2 tiny little children. Just tiny little children, and we have to figure out where on that landmass or in that landmass those children are, whether it's above ground and they're thriving someplace, or whether harm has been done to them and they've been buried.
The way you say that, Mark Class, it just, trills off the tip of your tongue because you're used to it, saying that a 3 and a 4-year-old little child could be buried somewhere. But for people that don't deal with it every day like you do, like I do, like everybody on this panel does, that's a tough pill to swallow, what you said, but you're absolutely correct. We're talking about 2 little children, just 3 and 4 years old.